Welcome to the Stand Tall podcast, where we sit down with extraordinary people and hear how they've overcome challenges in their own lives. You'll be inspired, challenged, and uplifted by these stories. And whether it's a podcast story or our youth wellbeing events, we're here to help you find hope. Let's jump in.
Hi guys, it's Joni again, and I am backstage one more time at Stand Tall Canberra 2025, and I've got an incredible speaker with me here, Matt. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jody.
Yeah, so you have been on stage and you've shared your story with all of the students out there, and I was privileged enough to listen in a little bit on it, but I don't want to spoil it for everyone joining us here today. Can you, in a snapshot, not even a snapshot, but just tell us a little bit more about yourself and how your journey developed to bring you here today?
When I was younger, when I was 12, I started feeling worthless. I believed it, unfortunately, and did my best to hide it from everyone. And after 4 years of thinking and feeling that way, I felt like I had no other choice but to make a final decision. And I woke up 2 weeks later, had severed my spinal cord, 35 injuries in total. And what I thought was the worst day of my life actually began to be my greatest years.
Wow.
And it was because of a turning point I had while I was in hospital. 4 months after my injury, still in hospital.
Yeah.
I was out with my mum on a day trip, and on a train ride back, this guy comes on the train. He asked me what I do to myself.
Yeah.
I was honest with him. And he said, right, so what are you going to do about it now? And that set up the rest of my life.
Wow, just a couple of words at the right place at the right time, and it had you thinking about your entire future in a completely different way.
It was a harsh question, if I'm being honest, but it wasn't cruel. He cut through all the fat, all the self-pity, and he got straight to the point. You can't change the past, so what are you going to do about it now? And he was asking many questions underneath that. Firstly, what can you do? Because you're in a wheelchair now, like things are not the same. What do you want to do? How will you do it? And will you?
Yeah.
He put the power back in my hands. When I felt like everything was crumbling and that my life was over, really, it was just the beginning.
Yeah, it all just started. And so you have to sometimes take a minute to pause and reflect, what you want to do. What does your life look like from here on out? And listening to your story, obviously you went through some really difficult times and fighting your own battles with yourself and the way that you viewed yourself, and it sounded like there were a lot of really dark spaces that you were in. It blows my mind that you're here today and, an advocate for yourself and for people in similar positions. How did you bring your mind from that space into where you are now and, in such an incredible, beautiful, positive light? How did you do that?
When the guy on the train asked me, what are you going to do about it? What he gave me was an option that I felt like wasn't there. When I felt like before my injury, my only decision was the one that I made. This guy invited me to think, what's possible? It's uncertain, but what could be for yourself? And so what that also does for me in terms of my thoughts and my feelings, if there's a certain thought, certain feeling that comes up, okay, this might be troubling and I might be experiencing a challenging time. How long do I want to let this feeling last?
Yeah.
What can I do about it? Okay, can I reach out to someone I trust? Someone that's close to me, someone that would have my best interest at heart? Perhaps seek professional support. Okay, maybe I've got a goal. What can I do about it? How can I make that a reality? How can I turn hope to action?
Yeah.
Hope is one thing that, how do I say it? It's been the driving force of my life.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for that guy in the train, I wouldn't have known that hope is hopeless without action.
Wow. Those are powerful words. And I feel like you're not alone in the way that you felt whatsoever, and all feelings are valid. Exactly like you say, you are allowed to feel them, and it's about how you go about, stepping out of them into your next space. What advice would you give, young students and kids out there that actually might be finding themselves in the same space that you were at before you decided to take that next step? What would you tell them? How would you bring hope to them?
In that dark place, it's almost impossible sometimes to see another side. It really is. I mean, can I speak from my own experience? But I felt like there was no hope. And unfortunately, the other option, the one of possibility, it's a more difficult decision to make, to go down that path, to actually dig deep. It takes a lot of courage.
It does.
Because you're facing yourself. It's confronting,
Yeah.
but it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's so rewarding. And be it that first step, having a conversation, just to be able to actually talk it through, be able to see it for what it is, to accept it
Yeah.
rather than trying to fight it. I mean, the way I sort of look at it, by me hiding it for so long, what it was keeping my mind paralyzed.
Yeah.
It had more control over me. Well, I felt like, I can do this, I can sort it out myself. It was the other way around.
Wow.
The moment I decided to be honest with those that I trusted, those that I loved, that was the moment I had the power over my challenge.
You
As
took it
in,
back.
yeah, I wasn't running away from it.
Yeah.
I was starting to face it. And then by starting to face it, facing my goals,
Yeah.
sort of felt like a natural progression.
Wonderful. And then, I guess once you acknowledge it in the room and you face it, you get to move through it and you get to work through it and get into that next phase, which is, a better, stronger version of yourself, which is exactly where you are right now. And it's incredible, but it's frightening. And you're right. It is a really, really hard thing to face yourself first and kind of say that out loud, say those words out loud that, I might not be okay, or I might, I am struggling, or I do need help. Those are some really, really tough sentences to vocalize. And so,
And to if I just sort of build upon that too, because having good people around you, at least what it's done for me, is it's helped me find my strengths.
Yeah.
So the challenge that I'm facing doesn't seem as big because it's not all like just trapped in my own mind.
Yes.
By having good people around me, they not only support and encourage me to, keep going and be better, but they help me find my strengths. And be it that I'm able to put a smile on their face, that's a strength.
Yes.
Okay, well, how can I build upon that?
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful to my social worker who offered me the opportunity to share my story for the first time. She
Wow.
saw, Matt, I think there's power in your voice. Would you be up for sharing your story? That I never saw. My mentor, Keith, who said to me, Matt, you train in the gym fairly often, you do some pull-ups, what if we broke a world record? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Good people around me have brought out the best of me.
That's wonderful. Community is so important. And I think the first step is to make sure that your inner circle, the sphere that you rely on, that you call friends and family, is the right one for you and they've got your best interests at heart, because they're the pillars that you fall back on when you stumble, right?
Absolutely. They play a big part. But at the end of the day, it comes down to us.
Yeah.
Which decision do we make? And do we play into possibility
Yeah.
or self-pity?
Yeah, that's crazy. And so, you're so young, even if I have to say so myself. Don't double check our ages online, please. Please. And you've learned so much, and your journey is one that is shared by, thousands of people around Australia, and they face similar, harsh realities, and very few, I would say, come out on the other side as changed as you are and as so focused to make change, not just to yourself, but to the people around you and to the, the broader world, which is so wonderful. Is there anything specific in your journey that you've learned that you've been able to utilize as a strength to make a change and to, reach out to all those people around the world to, empower them as well and encourage them?
There's two ways I can answer that. First being me personally.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I've been able to, I think the most meaningful thing that I've been able to achieve in my life is that I've been able to be for other people what I needed when I was younger.
Wow.
And look, that's quite a thought to take upon for oneself. I just happened to stumble across that. But I think a good place to start of finding our strengths, of what we can build upon. You know, firstly, what are we good at and what are we interested in? Then asking ourselves, how can we help other people with those things?
Yeah.
How can we add value to other people's lives?
Yeah.
That's a meaningful way that we can pursue something positive, something that we enjoy. And if we can make other people's lives better in a way that we enjoy, I think it's just compound interest of positivity.
100%. I like the way that you said that you are now the light for people that you were looking for when you were younger. You know, you can provide that strength that you were looking for when you were younger. And that's a very unique and beautiful platform to be on, to be that type of help and to be there for other people in that way, because it does take a lot, you know. Do you have like words that you live by or a mantra or anything specific that you would like to share with any one of our beautiful audience members that are listening to this, that are watching this, that are out there, you know, so inspired by you right now and they're thinking, what next? You know, what would you say? What next?
It's funny. The question you asked me is exactly what I live by. What next?
Really?
The guy in the train asking me, what are you going to do about it now? That's exactly what that question is. What now? What next? You can only start with now.
Yeah.
And then build upon that. So what are you going to do about it now?
Yeah.
How can I be the best version of myself now? How can I face my challenges as my best self now and achieve my goals as my best self now?
Wonderful. Well, that's incredible. I mean, thank you so much for, you know, coming all the way up here, sharing your story, being vulnerable. I think you've had some experiences that not a lot of people can relate to, and those that do relate to it, you know, it's a tough thing to look at sometimes, and you know, you've handled it so well, and you've been able to redirect your life into something so incredibly positive and meaningful, and we're just so grateful that we get to share a little bit of that today with everyone out in the audience while you're on stage and everyone listening at home. So thank you so much for joining us here. It's been truly wonderful.
I'm truly grateful to Stand Tall for the platform of hope that you provide for young people, the opportunity to play a small part in it, and it's been lovely talking to you, Jody.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Stand Tall podcast. We've loved having you. Follow and subscribe to stay up to date and to hear more stories like this one. We'd also love it if you could share this with your friends and family, because we know a little extra hope can go a long way. You can find out more, tell us what you think, and keep up with our Stand Tall events via our social media. Come say hi, and we'll see you on there.